Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for another devotional. Today we're going to be in John chapter 8. I'm going to read verses 31 through 32, perhaps one of the great statements of Jesus in the Gospel of John. So Jesus said to the Jews who had believed in him, that word believed goes back to the previous verse. I'll get to that in a second. He says, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and that knowing of the truth will set you free. So, as I said, just going back one verse to John chapter 8, verse 30, we see that people are starting to believe in Jesus, right? It's getting exciting. But now, Jesus is going to put that newfound belief to the test. And in this exhortation right here, Jesus communicates something critical and essential for every believer to understand. See, Jesus is not interested in easy believism. He is not assembling a bunch of followers that only agree and affirm and accept him. He wants them actually to adjust their entire life to him and his teaching. They've got to produce evidence now that they actually believe. And by the way, he tells them exactly how to do it in one word: abide. Abide. Now, this term is perfect because it describes the importance of the connection and the resources that flow from that abiding. Now, this abiding concept is seen, I think, best in a horticultural practice called grafting. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but grafting is the act of joining two plants together. So you take a firmly rooted plant, you open or slice a wound on one of its rich branches, exposing a layer underneath the skin of that plant, and then you attach a branch with a similar wound to it. Usually you kind of tape them together or adhere them in some way or shape or form with some sort of external garment or tape until they actually graft. And once they're grafted, the rooted plant freely sends nutrients from its system to that new branch. And that's the imagery of this text here. In other words, you don't just agree and affirm and accept Jesus. You've got to abide in his word. You got to be grafted into him. And then we learn from Jesus here, even in this statement, that there are two results that blossom from this abiding and this grafting. First, we will learn intimately about the unseen nutrients in God's word. And then second, we experience true spiritual freedom. Those who just agree and affirm and accept don't know or experience any of these results. So, fellas, if you're not presently experiencing these kinds of results in your life, then it might be time to open a wound and get yourself freshly grafted in to the vine. Jesus says this a little further down the road in the same gospel in John chapter 15. He says, I am the vine. I am the vine. You are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. So fellas, get grafted. That's it. I love you. I hope this blesses you. If it has, share it with someone else. And I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.